Hello everyone, this is our sixth session. The topic we plan to take in this session is network virtualization. In the previous video, we had a session on controller placement problem. In that session, we have seen the controller is the core component of SDN architecture and it controls, manages and the application layer and infrastructure layer under many conditions like LAN, WAN and centralized distributed environment, and also explained the various factors of CPP. The outline of today's session is Introduction to Network Virtualization, why we need network virtualization and the challenges faced by virtualized network categories, what is hypervision problem. At last we are going to see VSDN, that is virtualized SDN, and issues in VSDN and the solution for that. Today we are moving to virtual world. Yes, our workplaces are virtual, we do virtual shopping, education and entertainment are virtual, and of course training in military, medical and sports are all virtual now. All this happened because of increased use of internet and various computer network technologies. Many new standards and technologies have been developed and being developed for network virtualization. Software defined network is also helps in network virtualization. There are many reasons why we need to virtualize network resources. The key features are abstraction, partitioning, aggregation and maintenance. The abstraction means in a logical network partition, the network elements should be controlled as abstract resources in which the given virtual resources need not directly correspond to its component resources. Network abstraction allows hiding the underlying characteristics of network elements from the way in which other network elements, applications or user interact with those network elements. The second one is partitioning. When the network resources is too big for a single user, network virtualization allows creating a multiple logical virtual partition so that it is best to use the resource and its functions by many users. Network virtualization has the capability to easily and quickly create network topologies and reconfigurations as per user requirements, network status resource owner policy. The third one is aggregation. If the network resource is too small, network virtualization makes it possible to offer high performance resources by logically aggregating the multiple resources into a single resource, which makes it behave like a large virtual resource. Resource requirements may change and the reallocation is easy and made it quickly. The last one is maintenance. The most important aspect of virtualization is the easy to manage and maintain. Virtual services are easier to manage because they are software based and expose a uniform interface through standard abstraction. The next we are going to see the challenges. There are few issues or challenges which should be taken care to utilize the benefits of network virtualization. They are isolation, flexibility and security. Isolation means multiple users sharing a resources might not trust each other. So it is important to provide secure isolation among users. The main thing of the network virtualization is resource sharing, in which the user should not be able to monitor the activities of another user. The isolation has various aspects including performance isolation, management isolations and so on. The next one is flexibility. In network virtualization, users should be provided with the flexibility to use the arbitrary network topology, forwarding or routing functions and protocols. The last one is security. Network virtualization should ensure that complete isolation among logical network partition. Any failure or security problem in one service or in one of the logical networks are isolated and so that it is not spread over the logical networks. The next we are going to see the categories. Virtual networks are available in two forms. One is internal and next one is external virtual networks. External virtualization uses switches, routers, adapters and networks to aggregate one or more networks into a single virtual units, or to split one network into multiple virtual units with the intended goal of improving the efficiency of a large network or data center. The next one is internal network virtualization, which is referred to as network in a container. That is, the network is confined to a single machine and provides purely software based network functionality to different virtual machines using a single system. It mainly improves the overall efficiency of the single system by isolating the separate virtual environments and allowing them to communicate over the virtual networks interface. This type is most commonly used in the workstation versions of VMware and Parallel. There are two types of technologies in virtualization. They are network virtualization and network function virtualization. Network virtualization allows multiple virtual networks to operate on the same network infrastructure. This enables the coexistence of multiple service provider or carrier network operators in the shared infrastructure. The next one is network function virtualization, is the way to virtualize the network services such as router, firewalls, load balancers that are run on the same proprietary hardware. These services are packaged as virtual machines on commodity hardware, which allows service providers to run their network on standard server instead of proprietary. As we all know, one of the key innovation of SDN is that the control should be separated from the data plane. This is the most important feature in the SDN, which allows the network to be divided into several virtual networks that have different policies and reside on shared hardware infrastructure. NFV and SDN are not rely on each other, but they have similarities. Both dependent on virtualization and use network abstraction, but how they are separate functions and abstract resources are different. Network virtualization is the key enabler to improve the network resources by sharing it with multiple tenants. Network virtualization is intended to optimize network reliability, speed, flexibility, scalability, and security. SDN introduces flexible and dynamic programming of networks at runtime. By combining NV and SDN, we can get the benefits of both the concepts. The next we are going to see what is hypervisor. Hypervisor is used to virtualize the SDN network. Network hypervisor consists of one or multiple instances that are hosting the virtualizing function. For example, isolation function, translation function, or abstraction function. Hypervisor usually sits logically between the physical SDN networks where the vSDN hosted and the controllers. In virtualized SDN networks, the hypervisor processes all the network control traffic exchanged between tenant controllers and the virtual SDN networks. For scalability reason, hypervisor instances should be distributed. The location of the distributed hypervisor instances can affect the control plane latency of the individual vSDN. Similarly to SDN controller placement problem, it is important to determine how many hypervisor instances are needed and where to place them inside the network has to be considered in order to provide the best possible performance of vSDN. Virtualization using SDN has two main performance issues. First, though SDN controller and switches must need a reliable communication channel for interaction, and physical infrastructure is also maintained, which causes memory and processing overhead. Second, with virtualization, mapping should be done for the communication between the user controller application and the physical switches. Flow-in is used to head these issues. The architecture of Flow-in is based on two key design decisions. First, using Flow-in, the arbitrary controller software having full access to the address space can be manipulated and various virtual topologies can be targeted. Shared controller platform can be used rather than the separate controller for each user. Secondly, mapping is done using modern database technologies between virtual and physical address space. This provides an extensible and scalable solution. As we have discussed previously, OpenFlow is considered as the first SDN standard. OpenFlow standard creates unnecessary overheads such as extra latency, periodically checking for liveliness, and consume extra memory in vSDN because virtualization system allows direct exchange of OpenFlow messages with each user controller. FlowVisor is a special purpose controller that acts as a transparent proxy between OpenFlow switches and multi-tenant controller, and the network slices and delegates the control of each slice to different controllers. Now we have come to the end of the session. I hope you all understand the basics of network virtualization, hypervisor problem, concepts in vSDN, and what are the issues we have in vSDN and the solution for that. Thank you.